Is it audible now? I think it should be. Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon. It's only 1 p.m. We hope to start the day a little faster today. So before we do this, uh let me add one interesting thing for today. Let me add in browser. Browser. Okay, call it poll. I hope you should have access to this. If not, let's do a poll for this today. I think you need an access for this. Let me put this in the chat over here. Not, let me add it all the way from the top. Hit share, copy. How should I give you the link for this one? I think I'll directly put it in the stream. That should be helpful. Yep. Can you access this link? If you can, please go ahead and start. I'm gonna hit go live. And let's see a little bit of responses that I get over here. Quickly, you have 1 or 2 minutes. All of you can see, yeah, that's good. So there are three questions basically that I want your answer. Let's answer the first one, a little bit of icebreaker for all of you. Your favorite question or your favorite subject in your school. I believe most of you will be selecting mathematics as your first choice or your first option. But yeah, if it works. All right, is I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to complete this. I see only a few participants have joined. Most of you have given your answers. Quickly join in. All right, can you do the next question as well? The next slide. So it's a simple question. Your current skill level. This will help me understand whether I'll just tell the team members we have started. I'm pasting the Menti link over there as well. It's basically a poll that we use so that it's helpful for all of us. All right. This one more time. All right. And the last question, hope you have answered. It says your objective of joining this bootcamp. Have you? I don't think you have answered. Is there a problem with the last one? Let me that. Okay, okay. It's a word cloud. If some of you, if you know, if you don't know, the third option is called word cloud. You can give your options over there, not a problem. I'm gonna hit go live one more time. So this time you can see the options. Yeah, even I feel the same. Not many people have joined, and they must have expected another 10, 15 minutes. But let's do one thing for the people who have joined. Based on the polls and the results that I see, I believe a little bit of refresher would be required for all of you. Or if not, there were one or two things which were missed in the last class. So let's do that. And let me also bring my presentation all the way from. Let me just check on my screen as well whether the course link is being updated. All right. Oh, I just check on screen as well. Can you guys still hear me? Right. Okay. I think music was missing from this particular. I should add it some music. All right. Let's have a look at the results. Okay, you guys can see this. No issues. So for mathematics, these are the results that I see as of now. Uh, one of bring the results. I'm just checking the stream myself whether I have the results. For current level, I see Python understanding. There is a good amount of understanding with you guys in Python, but not everyone has the complete understanding over here. So 9 people have said in terms of your current skill level, which is slightly lesser. So I'm assuming taking this as random sampling from here to here, it's almost a beginner level. And for the advanced level, your current Python skill level, whether you know Python or not, would be all the way to the right. So you have done this exercise very well. It has given me a very thorough understanding. And for the last slide, if you wanted to see what are the results, what are your objectives of joining this bootcamp? So basically, I can see the objective. So about only 29 participants have done the last question. Probably you didn't know there is a final question as well. There are 3 questions. The first one almost everyone did from from 57. That's great. It's just an icebreaker. Second, still good. It is helpful. And third one, to learn data science, pandas, ML basics. But the major thing is learning. I know we are here for learning, but something more concrete. Like, I don't know what is Python Malfoy. Maybe it's a new library that you guys are building. If so, please ping me. To learn something, learn something. You guys, this is really good, but really terrible. Yes, I want to learn something new. But it's not your fault. You are still young. You don't know what is there to learn outside. So probably you're in the vast glory as a student that you want to learn almost everything that is related to data science. So learn data science, yes. After maybe 6 months or 1 year, your answer will change dramatically. It would be very focused, as in to learn maybe artificial intelligence, learn one particular research paper and its real world applications, or learn natural language processing, or learn image evaluation. But now, for now, learning is absolutely fine to learn something. So that's great. Or, yeah, build a career path is also great. Yeah. Learn biology. I wish I could teach you biology, but if you have data of biology, I'll definitely give you that. All right. I think we can end at this. So we have our live streaming session on. So we can come back to over here to learn. No physics. Uh, if you have data on, I mean, my physics is pretty good, but again, uh, you will have to give me some data. Now let's come over to our next and latest news session. I think this is the, oh, I think audio has gone. A moment, please. Okay, we are still in the Mentimeter scene. I'll 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 keep this scene on. I'll keep the Mentimeter scene so if new people join in and if they want to key in their answers, this will be helpful. This is important data for us to prepare our coming sessions and this session much better. Probably I'll add one more slide to this Mentimeter so that I know there are some people who are really advanced in terms of their learning. So I'll keep some key questions over there as well. All right, let's get into our work and understanding. Last time we left off with was understanding the data inputs and outputs. But before I go over there, let me give you a little nudge in understanding a little bit on, because most of you said Python is basically new. I do believe Python for NumPy analysis. I hope you went through this exercise. If not, give me a thumbs down, thumbs up. Did you guys go through any of these exercises? Am I audible? Should I do some hand waves or gestures? Comments on? Maiaudible. Okay, I'm audible. Was anyone okay? If none of you even touched the notebook or anything, uh, give a thumbs up. Let's do a reverse psychology. If you touched any of the notebooks, give a thumbs up. If you did nothing, touched nothing, just enjoyed the weekend, then you can do a thumbs down. That's fine. Or you give me a heart. That's fine. Someone is saying no, they were not available. Be sure they were. If they were not, I'll have someone check up this one, right? Yeah, check. The notebooks were up and ready or not. They're not available, could not access the resource. Half of them are saying they're not. Check quick. They're checking, guys. Not a problem. Give me a heart in case you were not accessible. The notebook link, the link is the same as what you have access. If you log in, if you see like the same way you were able to access this link, right? The YouTube live link, I did not give you the live link, correct? Okay, many people are saying could not access. Probably an issue. Please check immediately. We'll check on that one, guys. Okay, so if you have not accessed, if most of you are saying you have not accessed Python lately, let me take you through this. This one particular exercise is important. Let me take you through this NumPy exercise. This is quite easy. We can do this pretty fast. Let's go through this. NumPy basically means, because mathematics is your favorite subject for all of you guys, so NumPy interactions should come pretty easy to you guys. So let's do through this. Not a problem. Okay, got it. If you couldn't access NumPy, that's well and great. That's not a problem at all, guys. Let's do that. All right. So let's go through this NumPy arrays and exercise. So creating NumPy is basically your mathematics library, numerical, not exactly mathematics, but numerical, any kind of numerical analysis that you want to do in Python, that will be done over here. For the links, I'll reshare the course link again. Yeah, it is about, okay, it should be available now. They kept a timing structure over here, so probably that's where it is. Should be available, but let me send you this link over in a jiffy. So creating any kind of list or Python list, let me increase the size so you can see very clearly. Yeah, much better. Okay, so from a Python list or a numbered list, right? we have all seen what is list. You just type in list 1 2 3 4 5 and it works over there, right? Now np.array, which is my list, converting this into a list would give you array. Slightly simple. Let me go in deep. When we understand matrices, I assume all of you know what is a matrix. N cross n, 2x3 matrix, pi x5 matrix, right? So here, to create a simple array matrix, what I'm building is I'm building three lists within a bigger list, calling it as my matrix. And when I do np.array and giving the object name my matrix, this is creating a matrix. Basically, you can say rows, columns, but that would be wrong. A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, something like that. All right. Now, I can also have a matrix with zeros and ones. If I just type np.zeros and give me 3, it will create an np.zeros within. If I just give 3 or 4 or 10 within something called as a braces with a parenthesis, it will give me 2, 3, 4, 10. That is fine. 1 minute. Compile, reload the access. Now, if I run 10, it'll give me 10 zeros. Now, np.zeros within the parenthesis, but if I give a double parenthesis, 5 cross, say 5 cross 2, 5 is the number of rows, 2 is the number of columns, 5 is to 2, or maybe you can go crazy, 25x 25. This is going to, uh, okay, let's try it. So 25 rows and 2 columns. Let's do 25 and x20. There you go. You'll get n rows and n columns, but yeah, basically filled with zeros because it is called as rows and columns as zeros. Now, np.ones, you can have a 0 matrix, you can have a 1 matrix. Again, np.ones is ones. So only for zeros and ones we also have something called as line spaces. Basically, it creates a line space in between the whole thing. So here what I'm giving is 10 rows, 3 columns, right? And when I do np.line spaces, I get the same. Now going forward, I'll share all of this. You can continue. It's pretty standard, or how should I say, it's pretty straightforward for all of you guys. All of you understand mathematics. This should be straightforward, not an issue at all. What I want you to have a look at is something called as, in the coding language, three types of brackets. Let's call this as parentheses. Let's call these as square brackets, and the other one as curly braces. Now, the importance in this particular, how should I say, in Python, anything used, yeah, it's used for tuple, it's used for functions and tuples. Even before I write, my auto AI ML is actually helping me write a function for all of these three things. The first one, parenthesis, it is used for tuples. Now, some of you might be asking, what is a tuple? A tuple is an ordered, immutable collection, or a collection of items, or and also a collection, yeah, of items which is ordered and unchangeable. Basically, what I mean to say is, if I write something like a, let me call it tuple 1, 1 2 3 comma a, let me write 1 2 3, not 1 2 3, let me write 22 comma 23 comma, that's, I can have something like this as well, hello comma 20, that's at 25. Yeah, if I execute this, remember and let me also copy paste this and call it list 1, the same thing. Now with list 1, if you guys remember, if I do something like as append new item, and this new item lets me new item. Let's call it hi. This entire thing within the brackets which says hi, this will be appended to my list. So basically, when I type list one again, just nothing. I'm just gonna run this. I have a new item over here. But the same thing, the exact same thing, I cannot do with a tuple over here. With a tuple, it is, let me go to the definition again. Can you guys see? Let me increase the breadth size a little better. Yeah. It is a collection of ordered list which is not changeable. When I say not changeable, of course, you can delete the whole object. The object name over here is called tup1. Yes, you can delete it, but imagine something like having your passwords or user IDs saved in a tuple. Not user IDs, not passwords. I would rather say something even more concrete, something like PAN numbers or Aadhaar numbers. That would be much, yeah, that would be even better in this case. So if I have PAN number of one particular person saved as a tuple, that is where it is being used in PII data or government records, then it cannot be changed, amended, or anything. A new tuple has to be put in place. Like, for example, let me copy paste this line. If I try to run this, there's an error. Tuple object has no attribute append, or it cannot basically. You cannot append a tuple. All you cannot append, you cannot indent, you cannot change. For example, if I call the first item in a tuple, this also you can see, yeah, 22 is the first item, that is fine, but you cannot add, delete, drop, nothing can be done. All you can do is create a new objective or a new tuple for that instance. Okay, so, and the final thing, curly braces, let's call it dictionary dict1. This is basically your key value pair, key one, value one. For example, as we saw in the JSON structure. So if I have to see the value of the first key, this is the way I'll be typing. I'll have to type dictionary, the in square brackets key one, or if I type key two, and the value of key two will be present. To make this a little more understanding or knowledgeable, let's call this college name, and let me write over here IIT Bombay. And second one, what is this club name, and the value can be analytics club, year founded 1997, and so on and so forth. Now if I run key2, obviously there is going to be an error, but here what we should write is, oh, what is the club CLU club name? And here is the response. So each key attributes like a key value pair. This is a dictionary structure. I think this should be clear for all of you. Now, let's come to reshaping a little bit. Coming back to NumPy array, we can reshape 5 cross 4. There is max, minimum, argmax, argminimum, where you can do for a particular list. You can find the maximum of a number. You can find the argumentative maximum of a number. Like if you're asking me what exactly is argmax, here, if you remember from the previous question, I think I want to import this. Library. np.arrange zeros, numpys, i's, run r. Yeah, do and rearrange. So basically, array or this particular object is basically giving me a random integer between 50. Okay, let me give this line. This is actually important. So this gives me a random integer of 1, 2, 3. You can see 10 samples over here, anywhere between 0 to 50. Actually, this is important. Let me tell you this over here. Random array or array, the way I've written this is random n array. So in three spaces, as because give me np.random integer 0 to 50. Anytime when you have to create something, some you have to just generate some sort of random numbers to create a some sort of a dummy data, for example name, age, height, or whatever the case. This is where it would be useful if you want to create some sort of random integers, and you can play around with this. You can say 0 to, I don't know, 1 million, 5 million, 50,000, 500,000, and not necessary you have to start from 0. You can start with 10,000, 100,000, but the last up, so starting value, ending value between the random integers, and how many samples do you want? 1, 2, 3, 10. So if I run this again, the first one is correct, np.arrange 25. So it has given 25 numbers, basically 0 to 24 in an ordered list. This can be anything, 50, 100. It'll give you 50 values. And random n array, we had asked for 10 random integers, and here are my 10 random integers that were asked. Copy this, mark down the learner for ease of understanding. So random integers, you've got it. Now some of you might ask, random integers, can I give negative values? Do you think I can give negative values? Up, down? Yes, no? Your answer? Just a mathematic question. Yes, no? Thumbs up, down? Do you think I can give minus over here? Will it, when I get, oh, not here, sorry. Can I give, say, minus over here? Will this work? Integers, right? Random integers. Will this work? Of course it will work. Why? Did someone ask me a question why it will work or why it shouldn't work? Because the starting value is less than the ending value. That's the only concept you have to follow. So in this case, if you ask me, can I do this? Now it should not work, because here is the concept. Minus whatever the number I've put in is much lower than this number. So here I cannot do this, but let me add in something. Let me lower this number to 50. And here are your random 10 integers. Now, please have, uh, please be aware, or please focus. It says integer. I hope I've explained to you. When I say integer, it means any value from minus whatever the number is to plus whatever your number is, without any decimal places. There's not a finite limit as of yet, but there is some particular number which goes beyond 9 or 10 zeros. So you can find that limit later on. So this is basically random n integers minus uh, starting number, ending number, 10 spaces, and there you have it. Any kind of random data or random n integer. Going forward, now lists, tuples, arrays, shape. Here is your random n array. Now within that, if we type which is the maximum number in this, of course it'll give you one number. Now what is argmax? So argmax returns the index of the maximum value along the given axis. For example, 33160123 is the third number basically. So when I type in argmax, it's the third number. 3316 is the third number. 0123. Actually, the fourth number, but it is in it is in the fourth position, but Python starts from 0. So 2216, 2262 is the first. So you will mark this as 0, 1, 2, and 3. 3316 ideally in the fourth position, but since Python starts from 0, stressing again, that's why it is called the argmax, or the position where it is in the third place, or in the third position. Same way for minimum, this is the minimum number, and what is the arg minimum? It is in the sixth number. Simple as that. No doubts so far. I believe so. That's good. Now, our shape basically means rows and columns, as I told you again, because there are no columns here. It's just one particular list. So there are 25 numbers, but I think I changed this. So yeah, there are now 50 numbers. If I reshape this, 1 out of 25, this will not work because you cannot reshape the size of 50 into 25. Oh, I think I gave, because we changed on the top. Let's reshape this. So reshape has been given, and now if I do a shape of the reshape, I know it's funky for you guys to ask shape, reshape the same names again and again. Uh, rows and columns, again, two numbers over here. That's why it's coming 1 out of 50. Now it has got one column and 50 rows. So that one column is basically blank. These are the elements of the 50. One row, 50 columns. Yeah, 50 columns of that. Let's come more forward. D type, I think we know what is data type is. We can do this. Now let's come into our a little important series, what I really wanted to touch base on. Let's do this actually. Let's do the solution. So this would be really helpful. This would really take a little bit of ease or burden from you. Let's go through the exercise and solutions because most of you said you did not have access to this. Let's go to this. Now, create an array of 10 zeros. So here are np.zeros, you will get it. Array of 10 ones, you got it. Array of 10 fives. So np.ones, one way to do this, you can do into fives and you will get it. Create an array of integers 10 to 50, which you are aware. Again, create all even integers. This is so interesting. So if you do np.arrange between 10 to 52, and if you want only the even numbers, this is how you do. You get two spaces. Now don't confuse this with random integers, np.random.randint, which said starting space, ending space, and give me 10 samples. This is dot arrange. So basically what does dot arrange do? From a starting point, ending point, if you give comma 2, it will give you all even integers. If you give comma 1, it will give you all odd integers. Now, create a 3x3 values. This is fine. Now, immediately I want to take you through this a little faster so that I can actually import some data and give you some actual examples. Just running with ones, zeros, two, three, fours arrays is not that interesting. At least I feel that much. And using NumPy to generate random numbers between 0 and 1, random. If you want random n numbers, rand n. And you can also, after doing this, just to give you a quick example, I can, once you have established this to some object like LL or RR, or say um, sample underscore 25, whatever your number is. In the next step, if I just take it, I can just write sample 25 into 10 into 20 plus 10, or I can do divided by 100. These would automatically instantly work, is what I'm trying to share or show to you. The link to the notebook for this survey, no survey, not now. We don't have time for. Please share the link to the notebooks. Yeah, they are asking. Just a minute. They will just share the same one. It should be available and ready. Coming back to the other steps, let's go to introductions. Let's go to data frames. This is where we wanted to go into, and data. This is the example that I want to take you guys through. There are a few points over here missing group by merge operations. So here is where data analysis, I essentially want to start data analysis today. Do that, I will take you through an introduction of this entire series. So let's come to pandas. Uh, there is something called a series data frames. A data frame or a series is basically a list of items which can be converted into one single row, or it can be converted into a column. So, or a column headers, whatever you name it. A data frame is basically a table which has rows, columns, everything. Missing data within the row or the column. Group by actions, you can do some sort of sorting, merging, filtering options with group by, merge, joining, concatenations. Almost every action element what you do probably in an Excel file can be done over here in terms of merging and sorting everything. I believe we had seen series. It's basically a list of items within Python. Like this is a series for now, which this is the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the index of the data with Germany, Canada, Japan. So think of it as rows. There's no columns as of now, but we can create columns in data frames. This is what we saw last time in columns and data frames. Suppose if I have to create a row and column, where is that example? Yeah, over here. If I have to create columns W, X, Y, Z and row names as states, this can be created. And coming to the next line, we had seen missing values. There will be missing. Let me take you through missing values actually. This would be slightly helpful. Yeah. So missing values basically, if I create a data frame, this is the structure to create a data frame. You can tweak around this, you can work, but ideally any kind of data frame that we create, for example, usually it will be something like, let me write another code shell. It will be from something like dfpd.read underscore csv and data dot not lsx small x. Okay, I have to give the exact file name 03 hyphen data, and I believe it will say cannot detect unit code is missing. Not a problem. We'll come to this line in a moment. I'm just running ahead of, I don't want to jump access on this one. So if I were to create a simple enough data frame over here, we have seen this. There are two ways that you can handle missing values or NaNs. There will be missing values in your real life data as well. Many students have not filled it. Many students have not seen it. Not students, even for companies, industries, this is a very, very common problem. For example, if I give you to fill an address of I don't know, all of you guys order from Swiggy, Zomato, right? So they ask if you're in a new place, you fill in an address. So what is usually written? There is something called as flat number, door number, building number, society name, address line 1, address line 2, district, sub district, and then pin code. Not all of this is applicable to everyone. People living in apartments will have use of society name. Then within the society, the respective building name, ABCD, tower ABCD, whatever it may be. Then floor number, door number, finally come to the place. But before that, you will have your, how should I say, address. Like for many people, you can say Oberoi Towers or Omkar Towers, but what is the address? uh, Say main road or main street, but still there will be a door number or a plot number, right, where the society starts. So for societies, it is called plot number. For individual houses, it's usually called door number. If many people are in Bangalore, if they have old houses, they will definitely have 85 bar 194, right? So all of those places, there is a lot of missing data, and to understand or handle this missing data, there are multiple ways. One obvious thing, you all of you will say, yes, it is common sense, you can understand, but imagine having millions of records in missing data, and how do you handle that, right? Basically. So going forward to that, let me see and understand this one in terms of missing data. You have nans, you can drop missing data in this particular use case, whether it is a row, ideally not a column. Not the best way, but have a look at it, because in this missing data you can do filters within the missing data, and we'll see that in just a quick moment. Now let's come to group by for a little bit of understanding of what exactly missing data can be. Now here is one analysis of one particular data. Let's call it multiple different companies. So this is the data I've created in a form of a dictionary, which has key, and these are the values. This is the key, persons, company, person, and sales records. And I'm converting all of that into a data frame, so it is easy to read and it is quite legible. So now we have the company name, the people or the person's name, and some sort of sales data, just a sales record. Now we can use group by. What is basically group by? I've written a simple little definition over here, is a way to group rows together based off a selection criteria or a column name. For this instance, we can group all the company name, group all the values of the sales for a company name. For example, I can see right over here for the company Google, the value, or if I do the sum of sales, it is 220. But for individual people, it might be possible that there are some people who are working for multiple companies, but we are going to stick only to this example data set over here. So by company, if I just do df by company, by default it is going to create some object, but I need to save this in some place. So once I save this, this has been created by company again. Okay, a group by has been saved, but I want to see what is the value that has been saved in group, and this is where it says that you have to give exactly what is required. You have to give a sort of an understanding that by mean, by company mean, and then it will give you this stats or analysis. Group by sum, it will give you again the stats analysis, and you got what the foregoing logic is. Group, sum, mean, count, standard deviation. STD stands for standard deviation. I'm pretty sure you guys know the logic or the formula for the same. Then you have minimum, maximum by the company, basically which person made the minimum sales for each company by each person for the entire row. It will give you the analysis. For the maximum, it stands the same. And for count, like how many people did a sale, how many people were involved, so on and so forth, it will give you that analysis. Describe is a very interesting criteria. It will give you something called as interquartile range. It will give you minimum, maximum, and the medium in between. So, do you guys know what is interquartile range? IQR? Do you know what is IQR? If you know, if you don't know, give me a heart. If you know, give me a yes. Okay. In any kind of okay, okay. This is good. This is helpful. Let me just type IQR, and this will be easily understandable from a bell curve. You can see my screen, right? Can you guys see? Yes, please. All right. So IQR basically stands for a bell curve. Yeah, lower quartile, higher quartile. But what does it? What does that mean? What does IQR mean? And by the way, this is okay. Interview question number one. To any kind of data scientist, what is IQR? What is interquartile range? I know there are definitions, all of you know, but in simple language, what is IQR? IQR stands for interquartile range. Think of it as a bell curve. The left side is 25% all the way over here. This marks the 25 0%, 25%, say 20, and the majority over here you can say 50%, 0 to 25, 50, 50 to 75, you're 25 again. And the tails on the right and the left, these can be treated as outliers. To give you another or an immediate example of IQR range, quarter one, two, three. Obviously, there's not a quarter four. So divide an entire year into 4 quarters, you have it, or an entire piece of data into 4 quarters. It can be salaries, age, numbers, sales units, marketing, whatever the case is. In that interquartile range, if I were to select this particular sample, where did that bell curve go? Yeah. In this particular example of the bell curve, right? This bell curve is the most important aspect of um, a marketing company. Interquartile range is maximum used by marketeers or by salespeople to have something called as a target audience. So when I asked you guys over here, right? No, forget the survey. When I asked you guys basically the question over here, yeah, what is your analysis or understanding in this particular creation or subject, right? So this sort of, it's not exact. I have to convert this data into a bell curve, that's fine. But from this, I can understand if I take the mean, median, and mode, I would see majority of you are somewhere over here. You strongly disagree. I mean, some of you can say you are a beginner in Python, but you have heard of Python. You are aware that it's a programming language. It is simple, but you're not confident enough to start beginning or to write applications or codes or even simple functions at that matter. Some of you definitely are highly advanced in Python. They might feel this session is again a little beginner friendly or something, and I'll join in for the next class. It's okay. That can definitely happen. And do you see what is happening over here in the third column? When I say this gives me a real information or importance. Now I know for a fact the people who have written say 2 or 6, this is the number of count of people who are here and who have said in data science they are, this is again my max number here, right? Maximum amount of you don't know data science. These people over here, they will definitely join the class when data science begins, which is in the next class, by the way, which is Tuesday. Data science, we plan to begin over here immediately, which is a part of data analysis, but real strong data science. So all of them would join for this next class. That is what this data tells me in terms of a majority. In terms of a simple IQR or interquartile range, in this particular example, my minimum in this particular case, the minimum value of this entire sales data set over here, let's go with this example, is 243. The maximum number of sale item is 350. 50%, you guys already know, it is the mean, or oh sorry, it's the middle or the mean value, yes, as written over here, 296.5. Standard deviation, I'm pretty sure you know the formula, I don't have to tell you. 25% and 75%. This particular value within the bell curve, this would help me. This is my target audience. If I were to ask a particular survey to any one of you, if I asked a survey to, let's say, 100 people, with various different age groups. Within this age groups, the value which comes between 25% to 75% within this interquartile range is my target audience. And within the target audience who really fit the smaller square bracket within the 50%, that median is my absolute, how should I say, they would buy my product or buy my services or the thing that I'm trying to target with chips or lays or shampoo or conditioner or educational field or whatever the case is. They would target this immediately and they would be my customers immediately. Just to give you a simple, fair enough example. Coming back to our code base over here, I'll give you more examples on this one. Let's move down. Describe. Yes, I can do describe again. Now, coming to merge and joining, let me do this and come to data operations. You can merge two or three data over here. For example, if I run data frame 1 and data frame 2, let me add, yeah, here is data 1, one particular data frame, second data frame, third data frame. I can merge, concatenate into one big table. That is about it. You can merge it as the same columns in the number of rows, or you can add additional columns with nans basically. So basically the data present is only in this particular square bracket, as so you can merge it in the same. This would really again help if I show you actual real data. You have got the idea or the concept on the same. Let me go and show you some of the operations part in any kind of data science or arithmetic operations. This is an important, or how should I say, one of the most important pieces in data science in terms of data analysis over here. Now, in terms of value counts, info on the unique values, like for example, if this is my data frame all the way over here, and if I do value counts, basically what does value counts means? It does a group of the column ones, twos, and three. Actually, this is such a bad example. You cannot understand head or tail from this one. Moment, let me give you better example for selection. Let me come to this one. That example is really bad. Let's go to this example directly. That's not the best example. It will further complicate you. Let's come to this exercise. This is important. Let's think of reading an Excel or a CSV file in data in Python. This is where you'll feel real importance coming to place. There are only two libraries which I'm going to use right now. One is Pandas for data frame operations, Pandas data and data analysis and operations, and NumPy stands for numerical pi. So any time that I run any kind of example, I import the libraries as PD or NP. Again, this is alias names. I can write this anything as, I can write Bahubali or whatever the case is. But PD is just written for short so that it's easy to write, because else I will have to write pandas every time. Pandas dot read CSV, pandas dot do this. Instead of that, I can just write PD. It's fine. I can just write P as well. Even that would do. But for ease and convenience, this is a structure followed by almost everyone. So I'm going to follow on this one. Now, coming back to this particular case, this is the way you read an example or a pandas CSV file, an ABCD or an example. And this is for reading CSV input. This is for writing or saving your file, basically. df.to underscore CSV, you would fail. Now let's read an Excel file, which we have example. Let's uh, take this particular example in terms of the data. Let me get the path and directly come to this path. I know I've given you a simple example, but let's try something unique. So the data that I have over here, yeah, oh, anyway, text. an Excel file, so it would read that way. So imagine if I've created a file something like this with, okay, also bad Excel file, the previous Excel file. Now I'm gonna open this file. Yeah, much better. Example Excel sheet so there, right? Got an keyword argumentative error. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah, this is one particular example in the Excel file. We cannot read it over here, but this is what the data entail or it shows internally. Let's read a proper HTML file with some data which is relevant or which is useful, where I can show you some sort of example. Here is an example of a government data file. It's a basically a bank list. That is bank name, city, street, acquisition institution, closing date, opening date, basically a mergers and acquisition document, a closing opening date. There is some sort of data present over here. There is agreement terminated date and termination date over here. You can just read this file by just typing pf pd read.html and it would read the entire session. If you want to follow and open the link, you can do so without any issue. So it's a failed bank list. And if you want to see what is with, let me actually add this list in the comments. Am I not able to add this? Paste. You should be able to see this link as well, just as I type on my screen. So this is the data that we are going to read directly now in our Python file. You can have Instagram data or similar other data also if you are interested in a certain separate way. So once you have read the data, all you can do is run this particular element and just do a, if you do df, the entire thing would it'll be too long to read. I've just done df. See, it's a lot of data, a lot of rows and columns. So what I've done is I've just made it df.0. So this way it reads pretty neatly. Here I'm not saying df.0 is the first row or column, because this entire thing is basically a JSON. If you have a look at it, it's an entire list. The whole data frame is present in a complete JSON list. So that's why if we do df.0, we've got the whole data over here. Now going forward to do some sort of SQL operations or analysis, we can do the same on that. Right now, I'm just showing you data input output, where you can have data input output from various different sources and cases. We can also read data from SQL directly running. You guys know SQL, right? I should have asked you that actually in the beginning, whether you know SQL queries, read, write. SQL is also much easy. Do you know SQL? Do you know SQL? You're giving me a heart. That means no. Thumbs up would be yes. Smiley. Okay. Oh, no sequel. Okay. What? Wow. You're giving me so many hearts, and everyone is almost saying no. We don't know SQL. Okay. Um, I will take one SQL separate class. The idea is we can read SQL as well. SQL is basically for databases. All of you know database companies, records, everything, any kind of company, banks, insurance company, your TikTok shops. The backend data is stored in some kind of a database, and you have to read the database, right? This particular guy bought an item at this particular, like, I'm pretty sure Black Friday sale went by some time back. And if you bought from Zara or H&M or whatever your main major, I'm going to stick to Zara and Soul Store, right? Because we have data for Zara and Soul Store. They were our clients. So we will do a lot of analysis on Zara and Soul Store. So that will be really helpful. So there we have to connect to a separate SQL database and do a lot of, basically first get the data, do some ingestion coming over to there. So there is a lot of data I need to catch up with you guys. Okay, this this helps. I don't want to go any further today. There is a lot of data, and many of you have told me that before I move on to the next sample, which is basically San Francisco salaries. You have to read that this is an exercise. This is actually a very good exercise. You have to read an entire salaries data set. Um, get me row questions. What is the average pay? What is the highest amount of overtime salary? These are the actual questions. How much did Joseph Driscoll made, including including benefits, which means including bonus, not just the salary. You have to add the salary and plus one particular. You have to give a proper code to, either you can give me a SQL code or you can give me. Let me give you an example or answer to this particular. For example, let me take you to, yeah, how much did Joseph Driscoll made, including benefits. So employee name Joseph Driscoll, total benefits. There is a column total benefits. There is a column salary, and this is the total benefits that he made at this point of time. To do this, this will be slightly harder for you guys if you have not had access. Yeah, they just told me they did not have access to this. So let's do one thing, guys. Let's break some time over here. Use the use some time. Let's break over here. Going forward, it's a hurdle for me. I cannot go forward as of now. Let me give you access to all the notebooks right away immediately, so that you don't have option of coming back to me again, or I don't have to look at them. And I'll share the notebook link with you separately. I'll make sure it is available in the course link as well. I'll share in the entire notebook link everything. I will also mark, there are particular exercises that we have marked, like for example, e-commerce questions and answers, which this is a very interesting e-commerce exercise. Then for data visualization, let me do exercise. Where is my exercise? There is something called as a Seaborn plots and exercises, where you create beautiful graphs and charts for your missing data and exercises. Tomorrow we will go through one or two exercises, definitely, but by the end of this week, let's call this week as week one, I will take you through Domino's Pizza, the big case study or case set. But to do all of that, you will need to come at least till this point. There is a capstone, no, capstone project you cannot do immediately. It's too much of me asking you. uh, I have prepared the answers for all of them as well, so that's not a problem. But a little bit of graphs and charts. Let's pause for this moment. I want you to come to at least pandas exercises till this part. If you're able to do at least a little bit, that will be helpful. Let me share use cases or examples with you guys. That'll be really helpful. Um, so let's do this. Let's pause for this for a moment. All right. Let's break our heads, or let's see how much interactions that we can do. Um, in the meantime, what I will also do is I will open up another link for you guys, so that you don't wait till the start of the next class for me to get back to you. Whether if you are stuck anywhere, if you don't have access, I'll add two other people over here. One is Pooja and the other one is Akash. These are, think of them as moderators or managers. They will give you answers immediately. Almost all the time, I will also be available. But if in case I'm not there, they will answer all your questions and queries instantly related to access, admin, or any kind of questions or Q&A doubts. If you did not understand numpys or arrays, I still see some of those questions over here. Let's do that. Let's access that immediately. And for the next class, till the first two classes, it's okay. But for the next class, definitely, please be available, which is tomorrow on Tuesday. Again, we'll start at 1 sharp as we saw today. And tomorrow we might extend till 3:30-ish. It's a nice longer session. Let's do that. All right. We'll share the link with you. There is a um where was it? I'll share the link with you guys again, not an issue. There is a public link. Let me see if that is open in terms of School of DS. When you go to say courses, hmm, buy now. Okay, great. Redirecting me to I've bought my own course. That's okay. Let me see analysis. Okay, you are right. Everything is locked. Why is this locked? Complete and continue. All right. Probably you guys did not see this. Let me add this. There was just one button on the top left which you had to click on complete and continue. Uh, can you see? Can you see this? Or can you see my screen? Question. My, yeah. Is this visible now? On the top very left, I see something called as social links. I don't know why they added this, but there was a button, complete and next. Just click on this button. The entire section is created as a drip. So as soon as you click on this one, complete and next, the next things are open. It's a Python crash course. There are only 4 attempts, simple 3 questions. For example, if I start a quiz, some basic instructions. Uh, there are multiple choice questions, and in some cases, more than one question is valid. There is no time limit given over here. For example, unique values, value counts, and unique. You have not gone through this. So it would be unfair of me to basically um, ask you for this test right now. So what we will do this, we will shift this down to probably end of day 2. I think that would be better. So I'm just gonna click on next. This item is locked. Okay, this item is locked. They cannot go forward on this one. Let's shift. Let's remove this quiz for now, and let's put it in the next one. So that was the way it was. I think that's why you were not able to see the exercise immediately. Okay, this helps. Next meeting, um, tomorrow especially, because I cannot keep asking thumbs up, down. It is difficult for me, but I need a lot of interaction from you guys. Next meeting, let's do one thing. Let's have it on Zoom or Google Meet, where at least you guys can talk to me or you can speak so that I can ask questions with you directly. Would that be helpful? Again, you guys cannot speak, but yeah. But yeah, I think that will be really helpful. Next session, next meeting, let's do that. Let's yeah, let's do it on Google Meet or or Zoom class so that we can at least talk to each other and you can ask me a question immediately. That would be really helpful. Okay. All right. This helps. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you again tomorrow. We'll just revise this. We'll give you a quick intimation in WhatsApp and in this group chat as well. For the other case, I do feel there is one particular place where you can get some answers is where did it go? Course discussions. So if you click over here, there is something called as course discussions. We will update this channel WIP. Let me write on this immediately. So there is Pooja, Rahul, Akash. Rahul, Akash and Pooja will update on this immediately. On all this, thank you for uploading this. So here on the course discussions, you will get your answers immediately. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll speak again tomorrow. The notebooks, yeah, notebooks will be added. Not a problem. Notebooks, sessions, recordings, everything will be added. Right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you all tomorrow.